Miss Jean, would you take a moment here and introduce the rest of the group with you and tell a little bit about what the Sweet Adeline stood for and what they were? Nobody here much knows. So.
Well, you know, that's been a long time ago, and this lady can't remember a whole lot. But this is Mrs. Neesmith. She was a Sweet Adeline, and this is Eloise Slaughter. She was a Sweet Adeline. And most of the Sweet Adelines have already gone on to be with the Lord.
Yeah, and Miss Hall is the only other one that couldn't be here today.
Yeah.
So, okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you can see these containers, these were apparently Army food containers, and you can still see the tar on them, and you can see what an effort it was to get them open, or get them here out of the ground even. So, if we can have somebody from the city come and kind of pry the lid off. Get those good gloves on, and we'll just go through them one at a time and let y'all pull them out and see what's in there.
Can y'all kind of stand to the side?
And we'll just kind of read it out to you as they go, if you can. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's see. Y'all open that one first, if you will. They're packed full of stuff, all in nice bags.
What kind of bag is that? I'm going around.
Ammonium nitrate. These are fertilizer bags. Where do you think they came from? That's what I thought. I knew I'd hear from Joyce on that one. Ray Gin Fertilizer probably provided the ammonium nitrate bags. And then there's another bag inside that bag. That's all that's in that one.
Hold the microphone up to her.
I'm going to read it to you as she gets it out. Take them out one at a time and I'll read it to you. We have a letter from the chairman of the Box Seat Committee of the Golden Jubilee Celebration, which I guess we can, you want to read it? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. This is Eddie Neely, who's age 14.
We get my idea.
All right.
It says, Manchester, Georgia, May 6, 1959, to the chairman from the Box Seat Committee of Centennial Celebration of Manchester, Georgia, from Ms. J.A. Johnson, Sr., chairman of the Box Seat Committee Jubilee Celebration. Just hope you will have a mammoth celebration. We're having a wonderful time. It's been good seeing old friends. My three sons, James Jr., Ed, and Lawson, all have followed their father and grandfather's profession. We are happy. We are a happy family now. Have 11 grandchildren, and I believe that's it. All right. Then we have a letter from the secretary of the Jubilee celebration.
We need some more of those fertilizer bags. I don't think they make Ziplocs like that.
We were talking about all this stuff. I didn't have a feeling those people strong enough back there, they were going to put it in something.
They're going to put it into it. They did. It's great.
This letter contains a photograph, and this letter says to the secretary of the celebration, "We'll be with you all in spirit. I was the secretary for this Golden Jubilee in May 1959. Lots of fun, but lots of work. I hope the centennial celebration will be the greatest ever. I hope that my son, Larry Kiefer, will be around to celebrate. Joe Kiefer is L.L. Kiefer." And there is a picture of, is that Ms. Kiefer? It says Ms. L.L. Kiefer, Joe Kiefer, 52 years old, secretary, and she's posing in her costume with a dog. Here's a picture of Eddie Neely, age 14, and it says, well, it says it's taken at age 12. Okay, and we have a Manchester, this was just a Manchester Mercury. It wasn't a Star Mercury back then, and it is dated April the 30th, 1959. And, well, actually, there are more than one in here. That was a mighty big paper. I think this was the celebration edition. Is that right? Anybody remember that? Question is, who owned the paper? I think it's Ralph Rice. Okay. We have a bottle of something here. Wow.
Take a sip.
This was meant to last 1,000 years. This was a pill bottle sealed with tape. And there's a little piece of paper with a bell on it. And it says, May 6, 1959. This is a Murphy button used by my father, Dr. L.M. Johnson, for inserting surgical anesthesia. In sincere appreciation, J.A. Johnson.
Wow.
It's not a bell, it was a surgical instrument. Does that take care of that?
Go ahead, Gigi.
You be around open?
Well, I hope so.
Hopefully, she would. I don't do like what you can do that. She's not here.
I can't get to you. It'd be all right. I can read it. This says magnetic tape, Scotch magnetic tape. It says recorded by WFDR, Manchester, Georgia, to be played in the year 2009. By Jack Whitehorn, General Manager, Bill Jarrow, Commercial Manager. I think we got anything that still plays it. This thing's packed.
I don't believe it. That was got in at all.
It's unbelievable. I mean, all those letters.
Those things were sealed though.
This letter says, May 6, 1959, grandchildren of Eugene and Alma Barnes Brown, 2009. I guess that's to be given to them. It appears to be a passbook savings account. It appears to have $5 in it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, if we could clear a little path so the folks sitting down can see all this. If I can read this, it says, I want this savings account divided among the surviving grandchildren at the opening of the time capsule in 2009 plus the interest. And this was F&M Bank. $5 account. I hope that I will be as proud of all of you then as I am now. Virginia Lawson Jr., Mike, Penny, Candy, and Millie.
Oh my goodness, how funny.
So somebody do quick math. How much is $5 worth 50 years later?
$3.95.
How much?
$3.95.
And a cup of coffee.
That was a week
A pair of cufflinks and a tie tack. You can see it. It's got X's on it, and it says Williams Men and Boys Store, William Goldenberg.
Is she here?
They did too.
an advertisement, handout flyer. This is from the Economy Auto Store, Sporting Goods, B. Harold Guy. It says, B. Harold Guy, owner, Marguerite C. Guy, bookkeeper, James H. Stewart, manager, Gene Avery, clerk, Tommy Thompson, assistant clerk. This is a flyer talking about the spring special at the Economy Auto Store in May of 1959. This is another letter, and it's on the stationery of Jack L. Dean, dated May 6, 1959. Dear Jay and Stephen, it is with great love and affection we write this letter to you. Jay, you are now 6 years old, and Stephen, you are 3 years old. We love you both dearly, and when you read this letter, you will have reached manhood and have children of your own. We could think of nothing appropriate to put in this time capsule except this letter to read to your children. At this time, we live at 508 Webster Drive. You have a nurse whose name is Anna Mae Ferguson. She is very sweet to both of you, regardless of the fact that you both are quite fussy at times. Jay, you do not know her. You do not give her too much trouble because you're a big boy of 6 and in the 1st grade. Miss White, your teacher, teaches you, and you're very fond of her, and she is of you. Today, Jay, you are wearing dark glasses because you got something
In your eye.
in your eye. Calvin Jackson got it out.
Makes sense.
You well. During the Jubilee celebration this week, I grew a beard and your mother wore a long dress and bonnet. She was a member of a chapter called Busy Bells, and I was a member of Brothers of the Brush. Your father, Jack, was chairman of the Time Capsule Committee, responsible for the contents of this capsule. We wish and hope that the few things we were able to put into these capsules will be of interest to you and others. The main idea of this Golden Jubilee was to draw people closer together in fellowship. Jay, Stephen, we probably won't be around when these capsules are open. Remember, you have great love for your neighbors and be friendly to all. And we hope peace and happiness reign throughout the land. With all our love for both of you and your families, your mother and father, Jack Dean and Sarah Dean. That's very good.
You might not have me on, Karen.
Oh, by the way, there's two photographs in here. There's a photograph of the family taken at that time. It says Jack Dean Jr., Jay, Sarah, Stephen, and Jack Dean Sr. at the James house in Smartfield. And then there's another photograph of them standing in front of a Model T. Okay? And then we have, what is this? This is a Hartford Fire Insurance Company policy. Looks like it's made at May the 7th, 1915. $1,600 insured, $1,600 policy. The premium was $48 for Georgia. Ruby looks like. So I don't know the significance of that, but I guess it's just an old policy of an insurance policy they wanted to have put in there at that time. Then we have 5 shares of Southern Land Timber and Pulp Corporation to Manchester High School, and accompanying letters with that. It says, this is a letter of appreciation sent thanking them for giving this to Manchester High School. So Manchester High School has 5 shares of Southern Land Timber and Pulp Corporation. This is the Golden Jubilee edition of the Manchester Mercury, and the headlines say, "Tornado winds and rain postpone final performance of the Manchester Story. Audience to see show tonight." And that's dated May, looks like May the 11th, 1959. There's another Manchester Mercury. Seems to be similar to the one we had. Manchester's Golden Jubilee celebration begins Sunday. That's April 30th, 1950. So you remember they did it all in 1 week, is that right? Pretty much back then. Yeah, this is a booklet with photographs, snapshots of the parades. It's just kind of a summary of everything that went on in the Golden Jubilee. It's got pictures of beauty queens, it's got pictures of parades, it's got a list of all the businesses and industries in town. It has quite a bit of detail. It even has an aerial photograph of the town back then. So this will be available for anybody to look at. Excuse me. Ms. Jean says that so far we found everything except men and money. She said, I heard it. All right, we have a picture here of Saul Buchanan, janitor, worked for the city for 30 years. The rest of these, I won't read all of them. They're photographs taken of various people at the city, which we'll certainly put in the scrapbook and be available. And then we have E.S. Davison, Chief of Police. On behalf of the Police Department, I welcome this opportunity to express my appreciation to the State Patrol, the Revenue Officers, the Sheriff and his deputies, and the Grange Motorcycle Policemen, the Warm Springs Police, and the Boy Scouts for the services rendered during the week of May 3rd through the 9th, our Golden Jubilee celebration. Your assistance meant much to us. Traffic was moving without interruption. Entrances to the Memorial Stadium were kept in order and free from suspicious characters. Civic parades were given the right-of-way. Streets were cleared for various activities. You were given there to give relief in case of an accident. Chaos was avoided on busy intersections because you worked efficiently and silently. Your arduous labor helped to make the occasion safe and enjoyable. To the people of Manchester, I want to thank you for the feeling of good fellowship and spirit of cooperation. May it continue to grow. E.S. Davison, Chief of Police. Script, apparently, of the Golden Jubilee Manchester story in great detail. So it's got the entire script with blocking and everything. This is a Bible, and the only thing it says in the front is from First Baptist Church. That's all it says, but it's a King James version of the Bible. Bouffant party pants. It says, this Playtex Bouffant party pants, number 474, was manufactured by International Latex Corporation in Manchester, Georgia. This says Helene Curtis Springtime Permanent, and it's got a card on it that says Aubrey's Beauty Shop, look your best with our Helene Curtis Cold Wave. Here's a plaque, a whip ribbon with says Manchester Golden Jubilee Committee, the committee badge. This bonnet that she's holding up, it says, this bonnet was cut with a pair of scissors that has been in constant use over 55 years, made on a Singer machine that has been used every day for 64 years. I haven't made as many garments as 17 in one day. I have made as many as 17 in one day. I'm Mrs. Agnes May Jones McGinney, born May 10th, 1885. Have owned and earned the bulk of the money I have lived on for 64 years, and am still earning my support sewing at B&H Cleaners plant. And the 10th of this month, which is May, I will have my 74th birthday. I was 25 years old before I had a garment bought ready-made from a store. I was 35 before I had to go purchase food from a grocery store. We live off the farm, and this is from Virginia's beauty shop, Virginia Reeves. And it is a bottle of Moondrops Moisture Foundation from Revlon, and there's not much moisture left. This is cuts of cloth from Callaway Mills, John Harris. It says $422.59, $423.59, $422. Different pieces of cloth made in Manchester Mills. We have a Manchester phone book dated January 1959. You can come look up your number in here. We have also a beauty book called The Modern Beauty Shop, March 1959, the latest hairstyles. And we have a model of what appears to be a 1959 Ford Coupe from Jimmy Neesmith Auto Company. Still in the package.
Ford Fairlane 500. I had one.
This is something from Railroad. One thing we have here is the Atlantic Coastline Railroad Western Division timetable number 1, Thursday, December 18th, 1958 at 12:01 a.m. Next thing we have is a dramatization of Fellowcraft and Master Degree, Stevens Lodge, number 586, free and accepted Masons, Manchester, Georgia. We have a letter from Mr. and Mrs. W.A. Meadows, 3 Spring Street, Manchester, Georgia. And inside that is, this is a beacon from the Orchard Knob Baptist Church in Atlanta, Georgia. And it's the picture of G. Merrill Meadows, the father of Merrill Lamar Meadows. Has some photographs of the Meadows family. Mr. and Ms. Walter F. Doyle and daughter Carol. Ms. Doyle was Lillian Virginia Meadows. They have one child, W.F. Doyle Jr. There's a wedding picture of Mr. and Mrs. William A. Meadows, and it doesn't have a date on it. We have another, is this? Looks like another Manchester Mercury, but it's open to a ad from Mr. Jimmy Neesmith, representative of Meriwether County, congratulating Manchester on its 50th birthday, and also from Wells Dairy and several others. You might enjoy reading those later on. Card from Mr. and Ms. Edward Roberts Jr., Michael Roberts, 6 years of age, Bobby Roberts, 15, Mr. and Ms. HB2. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That's everything that was in the time capsule.
Good old in the U.S. Army Reserve. We had a reserve unit here in Manchester, and we had a building out on Walnut Springs Highway there. And I'm sorry this tank didn't survive intact, but I guess it melted when they were putting the tar around it or something. But this was an M42 tank, and it mounted two 40-millimeter anti-aircraft guns. James and I drove these tanks around here. We rode them in parades down Main Street. I'll never forget one time they wanted us to ride them in a parade in Woodbury. Ben Dean was state patrolman, and he decided that he would lead us to Woodbury. And so we had these big M42 tanks running down the highway from here to Woodbury. And Ben kept getting faster and faster and faster, and after a while I was doing about 60 miles an hour in that tank. And Ben later commented, he says, well, every time I looked in my rearview mirror you were closer, so I sped up. James admitted to us when we got there, we had a T-bar steering arrangement inside those tanks. He says my T-bar came off. So I don't know how he steered that thing, but we made it. But we had a lot of interesting moments with these things, and some good training and some good fellowship in the reserve unit here. And it was disbanded back around the 60s and moved into the National Guard unit over at Thomaston. I hated to see that, but I hate even worse to see the tank did not survive intact. It was quite a piece of machinery back in those days, powered by a 500 horsepower Chrysler engine, which was capable of powering it and great speeds, evidently. But I'm glad to recover what's left.
Thank you, Don, very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll try to have some of this inside if you want to come look at it in more detail before you leave. But that concludes our program. Thank you for being here. Thank you for participating. And don't forget the next event.